Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cast. This is Rich, making another movie about XRP today, as always. Today, we're going to talk about XRP. I hope everyone is having a great day, no matter where they are in the world. Two things, though, before I start. First, I want to warn you that this latest drop will lead to new all-time highs. You knew it was going to happen. This was just a move back down before the next one went up. Don't forget that I'm going to stack Flare right now while it's really cheap. In this space, Flare is going to be huge. Watch out, you'll be sorry you didn't buy it for 2 cents. The XRP Ledger network is still growing quickly. Based on information from the monitoring company Sandamant, the XRP Ledger network is still growing pretty quickly. The network is still taking care of about 7,500 wallets every day, which shows that there is a lot of demand. There is also a lot of desire for XRP. That's all we need is for things to start moving again. At that point, we'll be over $4 in no time. After that, we'll move on to $5 or more and keep going up from there. Right now, a lot of people want XRP. A lot of new companies are also coming into this space. They're on X. The things they ask show that they are new to crypto. I'm telling you that stores are coming back. People who own XRP talk about why they're still keeping. This was sent by Crypto Eddie. It looks like Team Ripple got 48% of the vote, followed by multi-chain gas tokens at 13%, and soon the king of DeFi at 26%. The 2017 Moon Stories also got 26%, 13%. Even though she talked about it, the one thing she left out was that SBI and all the banks in Japan use XRP. SBI talks about Ripple and XRP every time they get, no matter how you look at it. SBI is making a lot of progress, and she doesn't like it. But I agree with Team Ripple. Right now, Ripple is growing non-stop, P, which will finally make XRP valuable.
Therefore,
After
we
that, you start
anticipate
to
a
look
price
at
of
what makes XRP
$2,000.
work.
Michael
That is
Saylor
what
is
really
at the
holds
head
a
of
lot
the
of people
Bitcoin
back.
community
The
since he
case is
has
still
the
not
sheer
over.
volume
That's
of
going to be
Bitcoin,
really
my
big.
friend, is beyond
The
your
ETFs are
comprehension.
still not here.
He is
It's also
approaching
going to be
Satoshi
very big.
Nakamoto.
ISO
For
hasn't
each
made
coin, he
XRP
estimates a
valuable
price
yet.
of
That will
$13
happen
million.
in time. This is how
One
much
Bitcoin
XRP
is
will be
worth
worth if
$13
it's used in
million.
20% of
I'm
online
going to throw
purchases
up.
by
Could it be
2029. It's
done?
likely to happen
We can
before
find a way to do it.
2029.
The
But how
market
does it
cap
take place?
calculator is useful in this
Protocol for
situation.
Interledger. It
To
will be
sum
a
up,
big deal
market
for
cap is a
XRP
way to
when
assess
the
a
Interledger system comes out
cryptocurrency's
because it
overall
will allow
value by keeping track
micropayments.
of the capital that has
Micropayments
been
would let
placed
people get
into it.
paid right away.
No,
But they
actually,
use two different
reason
types
being,
of AI.
it is what
Someone
we will
said
be
it would cost
discussing in the
between
very next moment.
$950 and $19.
Simply put,
The other
moving
one
these
said that
coins
each
doesn't
XRP
require a
coin
lot
was
of
worth
capital. Check this out.
$140.50.
So let's say
Now,
the worth
question
of a
is whether
coin or
Ripple can
token
handle
is
that many
$13
online
million
payments.
at the current
Of course,
pricing.
I also think
$12
they'll get
million.
20%.
And
Another
the supply is
20% will probably
encircled
go to
after we enter
Hedera and
21
20%
million
to Stellar.
Bitcoin.
The rest
All
will be
right?
split between
This is the
XDC,
maximum amount that can be
IOTA,
supplied.
Algo, and maybe
However,
even
I would
QT.
like to
It
mention
could
that
be a
prior
much
to
smaller
proceeding,
part
we
that is
have the
split among
option
all
to
of
use
them,
the
but
entire
Interledger
supply, which
protocol
is
is going to be
21
the
million.
one thing that
Okay,
changes
so
everything
Michael
for
Saylor
XRP.
thinks
This is from
Bitcoin is going to
smoke.
reach a market
The Indian
cap of
Bankers Association wants all banks
$273
to speed
trillion
up the
if the
move to ISO
circulating supply is
222 starting
21
next
million
month, so
and
it's
the
done
price
before
of
the date
Bitcoin is
in November
13 million.
2025. So it looks
However,
like
if
they
we
will
divide
begin
or half of
moving
the
in
Bitcoin
August.
Max's
The schedule
predictions and say that
changes all the
XRP
time.
is
As I said,
$2,000,
in the
it's
long
impossible
run,
because
ISO
it's
will be a
thousands
very
of
big
times higher
deal.
than the
There will be
entire New
slow
York Stock
progress toward the
Exchange.
top.
For some
I
reason,
still
this whole
believe that
thing is really
ISO could lead to
strange.
the time
It is
when the
my
switch
firm
is
belief
flipped.
that Bitcoin
More
will
people
soon
will
reach
trade ISO
$13 million.
222 recognized
This is
coins
serious.
than any other
Michael Saylor thinks
cryptocurrency.
he's more
After the bubble
optimistic than
burst,
that.
who
As a
really
result,
won?
it's likely
This
now
paper
more than
talks about the
$13 million.
cryptocurrency bubble. They already
However,
know that
I have
Bitcoin
not
is a
heard him
bubble.
mention any
And when that
ludicrous or
boom
outlandish
bursts, you
figures
should see
before.
how many people are
Okay?
shocked
But look at
because
this.
everyone has been
For some
telling
reason,
them
I
that
have the
Bitcoin is only
impression that
going
these
up. It's
coins will
not just
soar
up.
to levels
After the
nobody could
next
have
big
predicted.
move up, it
Am
will
I
fall.
correct?
After
No,
that, we'll see
I am
alt
not
season.
joking.
We will
The
also
total
watch
value
to
of all
see if a
cryptocurrencies
service
will
run
likely
comes
be in the
through. A
quadrillions.
lot of people will not
Am I
even know what a
correct?
utility
In the
run is if we
quadrillions
get
and beyond
one. It will be
range.
known as
Not
a
yet, though,
utility coin
following
super
the
cycle.
collapse.
But what it
It
will
is at
really
that
be
point that I
is
begin to doubt
utility
the
pushing the
extraordinary nature of
prices
these
of
price
these utility
projections.
coins up.
Even
We
though
don't
they
even know
don't,
how long a
they're
utility
acting
run
like it
can
right
last.
now.
How long will it
Bitcoin
last?
will
How long
reach a
will it
million
last?
users,
I
in
also
my
think the
opinion,
pullbacks will
eventually.
be very small.
What the heck?
People will be
However,
getting
I
out of
believe
the
it's right
market
after the
with the hope
collapse,
of
just
buying
as it
back at a
begins to
lower
die.
price. Just to see the prices of
3,100%
these
for XRP.
cryptocurrencies rise.
My
That
guess
is
is
what
that it will
scares me
land
the
on those
crap out of
guys.
me
So
when I
I'm
want to
curious
sell
to
any
hear
of
the
my
Bitcoin
ISO
Max's
coins.
take
I
on
know
the
that there won't
predicted
be any
price of
pullbacks.
Bitcoin at
$10,000 to
$13
$50,000 in 5 years. Listen
All right?
to Jake Claver
That's the
here.
way to
Let me talk
circulate
about the
supply,
derivatives now,
or
as
that's where we
where
can
things
get the
get
maximum
interesting.
supply.
Okay. This
Now
is
we
what I
will
think
move on
Ripple's
to the
main goal
circulating
is with what they're
fuel.
building.
We
They have a
entered
product
that,
called
take that
Codius
off.
that has been
All
in
right?
beta for a
The
long
sum is
time. It's a tool for
258
smart
trillion.
contract derivative.
It's essentially the same,
All of
dude.
these structured
Compared to
versions
where
are
we
what
think
it is.
XRP
You
will
can't
go,
even measure
that's over
futures
3
right now.
times
People
lower.
don't even know
I
how dangerous
understand.
it is.
So I'm
Lehman
curious
and
to
all
hear
of
the
those other
Bitcoin
companies
Max's
failed in
take on that.
2008 because they had
Perhaps
a
the
lot of
majority of
mortgage-backed
them don't
securities
think
that they
that's
had
true,
packed
though.
up, sold,
Perhaps,
borrowed
though,
money
this will be the
against,
case for
and done a
all
lot of other
assets and
risky things with.
cryptocurrencies that
They do
manage
this
to
because
adapt
they
to the
make a
new
lot of
monetary
money,
system.
but they do it
Why?
anyway. There is
Reddit
no
user
way to measure
XRP
the
has sent
danger,
this.
and no one
The
can
hoax
tell you
about
how much the
XRP's
derivatives
market cap
market is
busted.
worth. It's
Okay,
between
I
400
figured I'd
trillion
share
and
this in the
$4
hopes of
quadrillion.
dispelling the myth that
And you'd
XRP
need
can't
some
hit
really
$10
complicated
or
smart
$30 in
contracts to be
market
able
size
to
without a
figure out all
massive
the risks
influx
that
of
come with
capital.
that and
It
all of
makes
these
no
swaps.
difference
That
what
was
this
on the
price is.
XRPL,
All he's
and
doing is
XRP
laying
takes
out
care
the
of
reasons
those.
why
This is
market
about
cap isn't
10,000
all
to
that important.
50,000 in
Reason being,
XRP.
it
I think that's
distorts
5
reality.
years.
The liquidity
He
and
is not
trading
wrong when
volume
he
in a
says that
short
he
period of
expects
time
points that
caused the
come in the
ratio
end.
between the
From the
amount of
start,
money
Ripple
coming
has
in and
wanted to
going
limit
out
the
to change
market,
the
and
market cap
derivatives
to be
set the
less than
price of
1
the
to 1.
EC, in my
You
view.
all get
But
it,
if
don't
everything
you?
works
If
out
they
as
want
planned,
XRP to
XRP
hit
could hit between
$2,000, they don't need to
$1,500 and
pour in $100
$2,000
trillion.
by the beginning of
Oh, so it's
2026.
just a
People
bunch
would
of
say, well,
dudes
look at the
down there
market
who
cap.
use Bitcoin,
That can't happen unless
Their
the market cap is
infusion of
very big. But take a look at
$273
this.
trillion
The factors
is
coming together
unnecessary
will
for it
change
to reach
everything.
$13 million.
We have no idea how much money from big
A market
investors will
cap
come into this
multiplier
space
is the
through
name given to
ETFs.
this.
As soon
There
as the
are
rules are
several
clear,
variables
everything
that
is
can cause
okay.
it to
Also,
change.
that will add a lot of
However,
value to
liquidity
XRP.
and trade
People
volume
would tell
are the
you you're
primary
crazy
factors
if
that
you tried
influence
to
it.
get that
Put
price
50
next
billion
year. It
balloons
won't
on a
happen ever.
playground and picture
There have
XRP
been
as the
stranger
prize.
things happen in the
There's
crypto
stock
space,
there.
though. There were
40
people
cents
who
is the
said
price per
Bitcoin would
balloon.
never reach
A
its
total
current
of $20
price,
billion
and
is
it's
the
not
market
useful at all. You
valuation
can
of
use
all the
XRP for
balloons.
many things. We
Someone
already had
just dropped 80
institutions, and
million
now we have
bucks at the
banks for
playground
XRP
to
too.
purchase some
Imagine that big
balloons.
comp.
The
Anies
scarcity
in the
of
Fortune
inexpensive
500
balloons
start
causes
buying a
their
lot of
price to
XRP
rise
and
as
putting it
customers
away.
purchase
It
more and
seems like
more.
there is both a
Is
lack
increased
and a
to
desire at
74
the same
cents.
time. It would
All
be
50
easy to
billion
reach these
balloons are
prices.
now
Do I
worth
think it?
$37
I
billion
want the key event to
since
happen
each
first.
individual
After that, we'll be
balloon,
able to
not
say,
just the
okay,
ones
this
they
makes it
purchased,
official.
is worth
The
74
price of
cents.
XRP will reach
The market cap
$2,500, but it
increased
will
by
happen very
$17
quickly.
billion
XRP might
despite a
get to
mere
those
$80
prices in
million
just a few
in
days. Check out
expenditure.
how fast XRP
Why?
moves too. This is
Just
one of the
because
best
the
videos I've
increased
ever seen.
price is
In this
applicable to
case,
all
they're
the
talking
balloons,
about
not
the
just the
XRP
ones that were
ETFs,
purchased.
and they think
Everything
they will
is
do
based
much
on
better than
simple
Solana.
logic
Listen to
and
this.
price.
Which one
No
would get more
magic or
flows
leverage
if you
involved.
had
Which is why
approvals
this
for
is
both
precisely
Solana
why
and
on
XRP on
January
the same
15,
day? That's a great question.
2025, we
James, it's your
witnessed a
turn.
surge in
Not at all.
XRP's price
Okay,
from
let me say this.
$2.70
We had
to
something similar happen when
$3.20, an
futures
influx of
Solana
$80 million,
ETFs and leverage
and a market
futures or
cap growth of
derivatives-based
around
ETFs
$17
with exposure
billion.
to
A
Solana
market
came out
cap
before the
multiplier
XRP
of
versions. The XRP
212
versions
times,
now have
folks.
more
At this very
assets and
moment,
flows
what I'm
than the
trying to
Solana
express is
versions.
this.
So,
Alright?
in spite of
Since
this, investors aren't
cryptocurrencies
nearly as
appear to
interested
possess
in
a
the
market cap
derivatives-based products
multiplier,
as they would
a
be in the spot
substantial
goods.
amount of
There
capital
is a
is not
fake spot
required.
product from
I
Rex
understand,
Osprey that tried to
which
get
means that a
exposure to spot
specific amount of
Solana
money
with
will be
staking by
multiplied
using a
by
lot of
hundreds of
different
X
ways
if
to
you
get
pour it
around the
in.
rules.
Right?
Also,
Now
that's
we
done
have
really
all
well.
seen
The
these
short term would
multiplier
probably
men.
bet on
An explanation.
XRP, but the long
Changing
term would
pricing
probably
and
bet on
increasing
Sol
market
getting more assets
capitalization
on that
doesn't
side of things.
require a
That's
lot of
because,
capital, does
as you
it?
said, most people I
Therefore,
know who
while
don't know
trying to
much about
compute
this
for
space couldn't tell you how a
cryptocurrencies,
blockchain
market
works. They
cap
like
should not even
XRP.
be
They think
considered.
all banks will use it
Also,
as
I
their
really
back
think
end
the
settlement
overall
method.
market
So,
cap of
yeah,
all
I believe there is a lot of
cryptocurrencies will
shopping
reach
out there. People talk about
quadrillions.
XRP
But
and
we are
Ripple
aware
more
that
than
it is
almost anything
feasible.
else on
What
TikTok,
gives it
these
its
other
wealth?
apps.
You do
And social
realize
media
the
sites, they
cost.
have a really good
When will
ground game, I
XRP
guess.
reach a
Log on to
value of
Reddit, it's the same. It's not
$1,000?
real like the ground
According
game.
to
Okay,
him,
so I guess I'd
XRP
say
might
that, but I'm
reach
not
that
sure. At that
significant
point, why
milestone by the
are
beginning
just
of
guessing from what I've
2026.
seen and heard
He
from
also
people
thinks
in
that
this space and people
XRP's
who are only
potential for
slightly interested
utility
in
and
what's going on,
regulation
though.
could
It seems
cause it
like a
to
lot more more
explode.
serious
You
people
do
are looking at
realize that the
Solana. Having
possibility
said
of
that, I think
macroeconomic
Solana or
changes
Ethereum
injecting
are more
liquidity
likely
into
to be chosen
XRP
by
is a major
serious
tenet of
investors
Clayworth's
than Ripple
projection.
or XRP.
Correct? I
Yes,
mean
I agree
exactly
with you.
that.
I believe
That is
XRP
why
would
I'm
do better
stating
at
that I could
first.
imagine these currencies
From what I've
reaching
seen,
levels that
crypto
no one has
buyers
ever
generally
imagined.
like
I
Solana more than
swear,
XRP.
millions,
However, that's
perhaps
not who
even
buys the
13
ETF
million
on the
of
first day.
bitcoins.
Right on.
But that
It's
will
love,
happen
right?
after
There
the
are, in
fall.
fact, I went to an
Why?
XRP
Upon
meeting in Las
entering the
Vegas on a
forthcoming
Saturday, and there were
cryptocurrency-based
2,200 people
monetary
there.
system,
There were
on the
no more
front
seats
or the back
available.
of the
That's
hood,
crazy. Try to
it
get
is
that at a
irrelevant.
TradFi
The
meeting.
blockchain
On
would be the
Saturdays,
sole
no one is
repository.
going. A huge number of people
Everyone
are
is
really
putting their
excited
money on
about
that.
XRP,
Without a
and
doubt,
I think
I'm
it will
leaning
do really
toward
well
XRP.
right away. Again, the
He
fact that
stresses the
90% of
unraveling
people
of
hate
reverse
it
carry
doesn't
trades in
matter. It's
particular,
important that
a
10% of
tactic
people
whereby
love it.
speculators
That's
use
what makes the
low-interest
waves happen in
borrowing
the
in one
beginning. I
currency
believe
to
it will do
purchase
well. If
higher-yielding
Solana is
assets in
ripping,
another.
I think it's mostly because it's going through a change in its story. So I think that when it started and where it is in the transition would be very important if Solana